I got this feeling inside my bones. I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric, baby, when I turn it on. All through my city, all through my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we're in the zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good song in my feet. Feel that hot breath in my body when it drops. Oh, I can't take my eyes above it, moving so phenomenally. You gon' like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting too close. When we're moving, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. You got that creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. All those things I should do, but you dance, dance, dance. There ain't nobody leaving, so stay dancing. Crying, also crying, feel like on. Crying, I know feel like on. Crying, I feel like on. Crying, turn it on. Also crying, feel like on. Crying, I know feel like on. Crying, feel like on. Crying, turn it on. All those things I should do, dance, dance, dance. There ain't nobody leaving, so keep dancing. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric, baby, when I turn it on. All through my city, all through my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we're in the zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, it's on my feet. Feel that hot breath in my body. Oh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. You gon' like the way we rock it, so don't stop. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. You got that creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. All those things I should do, but you dance, dance, dance. There ain't nobody leaving, so stay dancing. Crying, also crying, feel like on. Crying, I know feel like on. Crying, feel like on. Crying, turn it on. Crying, feel like on. Crying, I know feel like on. Crying, feel like on. Crying, turn it on. All those things I should do.
Listen, everyone, before the show gets started, I want to first let you know that you can always support the show via Cash App, Zelle, PayPal. All financial contributions are greatly appreciated, and we really do thank you so much. Now sit back and let's enjoy.
On everybody, hope all is well. Listen, you know we always have to have our disclaimers there for our content and everything of that nature. Listen, today is going to be an amazing show. Hopefully you got your notepads. Hopefully you got your whatever you need to take notes on today. All right, so we have a few guests that are coming on tonight, this evening, wherever you may be. As soon as my stuff gets through loading up. All right, hold on. Let me go ahead and take this off the screen. Wait a minute. What is up, everybody? So listen, tonight is going to be a great, great night. I'm so happy to have my guest on. Individuals that I do know and I love greatly and dearly, and baby, they are in government, okay? Let me just be serious. Come on, Mark, be serious. So while we are waiting for Sabrina to come back to the screen, I have my sister, the sophisticated lady. Let me go ahead and just give y'all these accolades. Y'all been thinking I'll be knowing nobody and stuff and folks and stuff. So first of all, let me just hold on. Wait a minute. Somebody just popped on. Is that? Let me do this introduction first. So Shelisa Cox is the chair of the outreach at the Democratic Women of Shelby County. She also serves as the co-chair for the Democratic Party of Tennessee, also chair of the Downtown Neighborhood Association. She is also a member of the NAACP. To add more to her accolades, baby, she is also part of the Sierra Club. She was just appointed today. She's also a parent ambassador for Shelby County Schools. Also, Sabrina Mckenzie, that is my next guest. Also, She was running for the Senate for District 41 in Atlanta, Georgia. She's a community activist, a lobbyist, an educator, a preacher, designer, dancer, minister, and a pastor on a mission, founder and CEO of the International Dance Commission, IDC, where she oversees hundreds of dance ministries and has established over 400 chapters worldwide. Also, we have London on here, who is a great political commentator. Baby, anything you need to know about these political parties, baby, let me tell you something. London is the person that you need to go to. You need to go and be run for some type of office or something. But that's okay. He was here first, okay? He was here first. Listen, I'm going to bring them on. Give me 1 second so I get to my right screen. Let me go ahead and bring Shelisa on. Hey, sis. What's up, bro?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
And we have London. And Shelisa, and Sabrina is on her way, so I'm gonna take her off till she gets back. So we'll do that. I'm super excited tonight.
Let me go do my disclaimer. Baby, these glasses you got on your face.
You ain't got to say it, but I know it. I already know. You ain't got to tell me, but thank you.
I'm trying not to cut up. I told Shelisa before we got off. I told Shelisa before we got. I said, "Baby, you done got old coaching sharp on me."
Baby, she is first Sunday ready, baby. She just need a hat on. That's it. Ooh, them glasses.
Ooh. Listen,
thank y'all. I appreciate it.
So tonight, we're waiting for Sabrina to come back onto the screen. Tonight, we're talking about voting. And we're talking about the importance of voting. We're talking about why your vote does matter, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And we're going to also talk about this foolishness that's going on. Now, me and this good old Keith and James right here, you know what I'm saying? It's hot, so I may have to switch hats on tonight. So, Shelisa.
Shelisa, by the way, I am fully sober, so I don't have no type of anything in my system. He told me to be very good tonight. Okay. I'm already doing that disclaimer. So if my camera go black, I'm puff passing at a repass and I'll be back. I'm just letting you know that I'm gonna give you that disclaimer right now. But if I'm sober, just for the record.
Just for the record.
Just for the record.
So all this between this week and last week, again, we're waiting for Sabrina to come back to the camera. All this week and last week, we have just been experiencing a absolute foolish show. Guys, what I would love for you all to do, make sure you share this live. So everybody who's coming on supporting Shelisa, please make sure you support this. Make sure you share this live. Everybody supporting London, share the live. We have a lot of important information that we're going to be sharing today. You're coming on supporting Sabrina. Please make sure you share this live. It's a lot of important information that we're about to give on tonight. Shelisa is representing my home state, the Tennessee. She represents Memphis. London is representing Florida, as well as I.
The gun state.
Oh, Lord. And Sabrina is representing Georgia. Go ahead.
Mario, let me make this disclaimer as well. I'm also the mother of 3 beautiful children, Roy, Brianna, and Brittany. So I have to give my children a shout out.
Hey, babies.
They're grown now. So Miss Cox is kind of getting her groove back a little bit. I can do some things now because they grown. I done raised them. So so shout out to my children. They are watching. So I appreciate them. They keep me going. They're my motivation when I feel like giving up. Just I love them. And that's it. So
hey, Sabrina.
My sister's here. Hey, Sabrina.
Hey, I can't see you guys. I'm trying to pull up my screen to see you.
Okay.
Sabrina, I'm sober.
Hey, y'all.
Just for the record, Sabrina, I'm sober. I ain't got nothing in me right now.
So
I love you. How you been?
I've been all right. Things have happened at my job to where I've had to voice my opinion about certain things. We had 2 shootings at my Amazon warehouse in Jacksonville. One on the outside, and then the
Wow.
other girl got killed in the inside. So I've had to be dealing with that, and I mean, other than that, I've been all right. I just been chilling.
So let me formally introduce everybody. Sabrina, this is Shelisa Cox. Shelisa Cox. This is Sabrina Mckenzie. And you guys, well, Sabrina, you know London. Shelisa, you met London. Everybody's formally introduced. Praise God. Let's go and get into this. Listen, it is very important before we get into this conversation that I know a lot of you all feel that your vote does not matter, your vote does not count, because it's a lot of foolishness going on, especially as it relates to the media. A lot of things that we're seeing, it just looks like, you know, what is really the point of even trying to do anything if this man that we call the president is going to be doing exactly what he wants to do, and people just seemingly let it go? Because I've never seen anything like this in my life. But because we have individuals that do work in the government, I want to give them an opportunity, and then London and I are going to follow up on that. Since Sabrina she is inducted as a family member on this show. She's my sister anyways. Shelisa is a new member to the show, and I'm very happy that she is here. She's my sister and an old church member. So I'm gonna let Sabrina go first. I'm gonna let Shelisa go first, and just just give us a little brief dissertation about what she does in the city of Memphis, and we're gonna go straight from her to Sabrina, and then we're gonna come right on through with London, and we're gonna go ahead and take it from there.
Awesome.
Well, Demario, the last couple of weeks, what I've experienced is pure foolishness from this man that, we call our president. Of course, he's full of lies, and that little thing he pulled on last week about him having COVID-19, I do not believe it. Um, he's just a mess. It's very important that we get out and vote. I'm talking about your life depends on it. This is nothing to play about, okay? If you're 18 or older, get out and vote. Go vote. Pick up that phone and call your friends. Text your friends and tell them to go vote. This is not a game. Even though I believe that he's going to play a game, this is not a game. Just make sure your vote is being counted. And I also know that during COVID-19, some people have to mail in their ballots. If you can get up and walk, go and vote. Walk and vote. Put your gloves on, put your mask on, and go vote. Do not mail in your ballots because it's a chance that it will not be counted. Go and vote because it's pure foolishness in that White House, and our lives depend on it. Your children's lives depend on it. Your grandchildren's lives depend on it. So that's it for right now.
Sabrina.
Things. There's so much that I would like to share concerning voting, even from a historical standpoint to where we are today. But I overall want to say that it's imperative, like my sister just said, that we vote. We don't have the luxury, we don't have the privilege, we don't have the opportunity, especially as people of color, to sit home and sit out of this election. There is a lot of debauchery going on, but I would even be willing to say that it's going on both sides. And unfortunately, politics is so party driven. I don't really think that politicians care about people anymore. Everything is straight party line. And you have to be very discerning about your vote and who you vote for. Most people are only concerned about the general election. Most people are only going to talk about 45 and orange. But the reality is, those local people that represent you impact you on a day-to-day basis, and they impact you more than 45 would ever impact you. So when it comes to your solicitor generals, your state senators, when it comes to your judges and those people who are day in and day out determining the taxes that you pay, the school system that your children go to, the roads that you drive on each day, and the houses and the tax that you pay in your area, all of that is predicated by your local election. So I want to encourage you not just to vote for a president, but make certain that you find out a little bit information about those who are running, those candidates that are running in your local election as well, and make your voice heard. The other thing I'd like to say is that they would not spend billions of dollars on an election to sway your vote if the Black vote did not matter. Okay?
Absolutely.
You need to understand, they don't put you, anytime you want to know about something, you follow the money trail. Okay? And it has been said time and time and time again that the Black vote is going to sway the election. In fact, the first term that Trump did before he was elected, he called several clergy together. You guys remember that meeting? It was a big hot mess. It was all over the internet. Everybody was talking about it. But in that meeting, there's one thing that he said that probably is one of the most valid things that I've ever heard him say. And he said that the Black church has the ability to change the course of any election. Did y'all hear what I said? I didn't say the church at large. I didn't say the general body. I said the Black church. And that's why he targeted Black preachers. And that's why he's spending so much time and so much effort trying to get in the pocket of Black politicians, Black leaders, and Black clergy. So with that being said, your vote counts. This last election that the president won, he won by a small margin in many of the states. Please don't be sidetracked by COVID. Please don't be sidetracked by the rain. Please don't be sidetracked by all of this stuff that's going on today. Get to the polls, souls to the polls. Listen, if you're a pastor, if you're clergy, if you're leadership, then I want to encourage you for this next 30 days that you tell all your members via stream, via church, that you help them get to the polls. If you are any type of leadership, that you bring people to the polls, that you help them get to the polls, that you also help those that are seniors. We can bring ballots to the seniors to make certain that the seniors are voting. And that's one of the most valuable votes, because y'all know why? The seniors remember the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. The seniors remember the sacrifices that our ancestors paid. So they always vote. You can count on their vote. And we just want to make sure that no vote is disenfranchised, no vote is suppressed, no vote is left behind on election day. Souls to the polls.
Absolutely. And here in Tennessee, with me being the chair of outreach with the Democratic Party, I also sit on the grassroots council for the Democratic Party of the state of Tennessee. We are doing rides to the polls. That information has not gotten out yet, but I will be using my personal number to give to people if they need a ride to the poll, because we just cannot miss the opportunity to get people to the polls, y'all. It is very important that you get to the polls. I mean, hey, my number is, known anyway. Just call me and we will get you to the polls.
London.
How can I say this without saying what I want to say, basically? I think for my generation, we tend to not really do research like we're supposed to on why it's important to vote, who are you voting for, and what are you voting for. Now, I can speak to my generation. My generation is the generation of We can protest, we can destroy stuff, we can set stuff on fire, but we don't have the sense of urgency to standing in the line to cast a vote that is going to make our life better. We can tear up some stuff. We can fight police
How
officers.
old
We
are
can
you?
go back and forth. I'm 31.
Okay, you're not that
I
young.
just I just look this. I just look this age. I just look like this. No, I'm really 31. But I think the generation that like my generation is like we kind of it has to take a drastic measure for us to get out and vote. Like Obama is a very good example. Like that was my first time voting, and because he was black, I was voting for him. It didn't matter his policies or anything that just because he was black and he was African American, he was actually going to the presidency. That's what drove me. That's what drove me to vote. Now this time around, I'm trying not to go there. This time around, it's like I don't have no choice. My life depends on it. My grandmother's life depends on it.
Absolutely,
Democracy depends on it.
absolutely,
Like the democracy that I
absolutely.
grew up in is everything was on a ballot. Like I tell anybody anything. Like if you don't know what to vote for and all this other stuff, do your research. But I tell anybody, hey, if vote Democrat straight on down the line. Anything that say Democrat, vote for it. Because if not, y'all gonna mess around and let these Republicans gonna get up under y'all, and then y'all gonna be looking retarded because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. You may think your vote doesn't count, but listen, it does. Like he did. The only reason why he lost Florida in 2016 was because of Pensacola. That's it.
Right.
Like
So
I
London,
go ahead, go ahead.
this is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna say that our word. We don't even want them to know what that is because we want them to vote Democrat all down. So let's go blue. We're not doing red at all tonight, okay? We're not even
Oh
gonna
no,
say
we ain't doing
it.
red at all.
Let,
Oh no,
let's just
I'm
do
that.
blue
Mm-mm.
tonight.
Okay, that's fine.
We're gonna
I
keep it with
mean,
the Democrats tonight.
I
We
feel,
don't want
but I
them to
feel
know
like,
what the other party is.
but I also feel like this too. If there's three branches of government. There's three. And people seem to forget about the main
Absolutely.
one, which is the executive branch. That's the president. Technically, he can't do nothing if he has a Democratic Senate and a Democratic House. Can't do nothing. You can't get nothing done. So if you know your state legislations from your federal judges, from your House of Representatives, from your state senators, from your sheriff to your mayor to all the local stuff, make the majority of all the stuff that you go through is through local stuff, not national. National really don't really
Right.
mean nothing. It's the local and state level. And like I tell people all the time,
Absolutely.
you could be sitting right here thinking, okay, if Donald Trump, if he don't win the election, Lord, please, good to heaven. If he don't win the election, you still got to deal with your Republican senator that
That's
y'all
true.
elected. That's still
And
gonna make your
governor.
taxes go up. And governor, like I hate Florida. I wish I could go to Tallahassee and punch DeSantis in his throat for real. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But like I I don't get it, bro. Like listen, I'm being good
So
right now.
So, Jives, let me make this disclaimer as well because he just said something that was so important. Anybody that knows about politics knows that because the young Democrats in Memphis, I talk to them all the time, and we actually have some legislators up in Nashville, also some city council people that's young here, and they're just starting out. And what they're coming up against is that they have to vote and they have to work with both sides. Both sides has to work together to make a vote count, even to get a
Absolutely.
vote. So if you have 5 Democrats in the House and you have 31 Republicans, guess what? You got to cross over that line and deal with those Republicans. So we're going to have to deal with Republicans anyway, even though I don't like saying that name. And I just told London not to say it. But the truth of the matter is, we're going to have to deal with them if you are in politics. It is what it is. But
Mhm.
that's why we're going to get to the polls and vote our Democrats in. What he just said, your local politics everything. We just got done with that election like 3 months ago, the local politics, and we won by a landslide here in Tennessee and Memphis. Tennessee, our Democrats won over the Republicans, but we have a young lady, Bradshaw, that's going to the United States Senate, and everybody thought she was playing, and she won. I'm talking about she took the House down. Do you hear me? Why? Because she went to each county in Tennessee and she worked it. She actually worked it. And so everybody is endorsing her now. She did not stop. What we have to do, we have to come together. We have to donate to her. We have to give her what she needs to make sure she wins that. Why? Because she's a part of us. So we have to make sure that she gets that. With all of our Democrats, we have to support them.
Shelisa, I agree. I agree.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Let me say this about Biden. You know, people might say this and might say this and that about Biden, but he's our best choice right now. You know, we can't worry about anybody's past. Let's forget about that. All of us have a past. We can't dwell on that right now. Our job right now is to get to that poll in November and vote him in. And it's that simple. If you have to take everybody in your community on your block, let's do that. Let's do that. I know my daughter, she's 19. I'm telling her friends. Why? Because it's very important that they vote. We have to vote, y'all.
Now, with that being said, one thing we also have to remember is that, you know, even though we are putting, especially in our local government, because even like here, my mailbox is full of all kinds of pamphlets and things and stuff. When we put you all in the office, one thing that we do want for certain is that you make sure you do your job. Because a lot of politicians, what they do is they get your vote and they lie to you to get your vote. And then once they get in office, they renege on everything that they said. Pretty much, you know, what 45 has done. But
you mean Orange Head?
Pickle, Cheeto, you know, him. So I just feel like as not only voters, but as Black voters, we have to keep the pressure on individuals that we are electing in office, because if not, we're just putting placements there. And then when they get there, then we're upset, Sabrina, because we're just like, I thought you was gonna do all of this, and you ain't did none of this. You did this, and then now we're stuck, you know, with you in office until this re-election time, because you know we were just gung ho to just you doing what you promised, you know.
Right.
And so one thing I can say, and a lot of people may disagree with me, is that when Obama got in office, Obama did the best that he could do with the things that he could do.
Absolutely.
With. Now, a lot of people don't like about Obama because they said, oh, all this was going on. He didn't do nothing for Black people. He didn't give us this. He didn't give us that. But Trump gave us $1,200. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Oh, one second, London.
Because you know I'm finna go in. Mm-hmm.
I know.
I need all.
$1,200 may seem beneficial to you to some degree, but it's not going to pull you out of debt. It's not going to pull you out of bad credit, as Sabrina and I were talking about the other day. It's not going to. It's just something just to help you get over. And on top of that, what y'all fail to realize, because London said this earlier, y'all don't read. You got that's going to come out your taxes.
Reading is fundamental and it's free.
London, get your hand was up.
Okay, so being that you threw up Obama, let me go and get these people a history lesson. So back then, when he first got elected, the Senate was Republican and the House was Republican. He couldn't do nothing for 2 years, people. If you, and I quote Mitch McConnell, we're gonna make him a one-term president. So if you got I'm sorry, I can't think of your name right now. but I'm sorry for saying the Republican word. You got these
That's okay.
you got these white people. I'm just calling it like it is. You got these white people who mad that this black man is in the White House. I'm gonna say that again, in the White House, which is also known as the president's mansion. They changed the name to the White House because when it burned down, they painted all the black spots white. So technically, that's not even the name of the White House. It's the president's mansion. That's another history lesson for y'all. But so it's nothing that he could have done. His hands was tied. So for all you African Americans that said, "Oh, Obama ain't do nothing for black people," he couldn't. His hands was tied up. Y'all luckily y'all got the stuff that he did get passed. And guess what helped him get passed?
But Landon, that's most politicians. That's most politicians.
Yeah, but the person that helped him get majority of that stuff passed was Joseph R. Biden, who's running for the presidency right now. And guess what? He's white. That's another disclaimer.
Right.
Now, as far as these $1,200, back in 1904, when it was going through the slavery and stuff like that, it was a nice little piece of paper that said each slave is worth $1,200. So they only gave you they only gave you what they gave the slaves. People, wake up. Please make it make sense to me. And the next stimulus that you thinking about y'all gonna get, y'all definitely gonna get that, because Donald Duck done said after the election, if I win, they're gonna negotiate. Once again, you need to vote, people. I can go on and on about everything that's going on in the world right now. And just vote, bro. It's not going to kill you to vote. Down Democrat. It's not going to kill you. My life depends on it. Everybody who owns his life dependent on it. Democracy depends on it. He's trying to destroy it. He's trying to make it a dictatorship. A dictatorship ain't going to work over here. Because you're not going to tell me what to eat, drink, sleep, piss, none of that. And I'm American? No, bro, not at my front door. You better go try that on somebody else's front door, but not mine.
Sabrina,
go ahead, Sabrina.
I wanna agree with London in the regard to the executive, the three branches of government: the legislative, the judicial, and the executive. Because as the Legislative Clergy Council chair, I'm constantly in the House of Representatives, and one of the things that we realized also in Georgia is that no bill can get passed on the Democratic side simply because there is a Republican majority. And it's been like that for quite some time. And so, it's a running joke actually in the Gold Dome, as we call it, that the Democrats are going to be able to just sit and chill because it's hard to get legislation passed. So it brings me to this point as well, because I'm a Democrat by choice, but I believe in voting for people that relate to your policy. I'm a thinker, a free thinker, and I believe in voting for policy and not voting for party alone. And with that being said, one of the things that I noticed as a politician, as a community activist, as a lover of people, is that everybody that's our color is not our kind. Everybody that is our color is not our kind. And oftentimes we put people in office that don't have the heart of the community and of the people and of the marginalized. And as a result, the marginalized gets poorer and the rich get richer. Trump, $1,200 just making the poor poorer and the rich just getting richer. Now we have 31 million people on unemployment today. 21 million people receiving checks today. 40% of those people still have not received their checks since March 22nd when COVID hit. Okay? And they're still waiting. So how are they taking care of themselves? That $1,200 stimulus check is bogus. It means absolutely. Really by the time you get gas and pay 1 month, that's all you can do. So as Black people, we have to stop being tricked. We have to stop falling for the okie doke. As Malcolm X said, we have to stop being bamboozled. Okay. Yes. And we have to stop taking handouts. Sometimes when we take those handouts, just like the churches and the 501c3, it shuts our mouth and it ties our hand and it forbids us from speaking truth to power. So with that, I just want to say, when you're voting on people, make sure that they are voting for the policy that you believe in. I don't care what party you're voting for, except for president, don't vote for Trump. But any other seat, make sure that it's policy, because everybody that is your color is not your kind.
Let me make a correction. I said something wrong. Actually, he did have the House. He had the House of Representatives when he got elected, when Obama got elected, not the Republicans. That's bad. I had to look it up. I had to make sure. So yeah, that's my bad.
So
I'm picking back off what Sabrina said. Honestly, I feel like us as African Americans, especially when it comes to the political realm, we like to kiss people behind. I wish I could say the other word, but I can't. You know, I'm being restricted right now. But we like, okay, Senator Tim Cook. Is it Cook? No, not Tim Cook. What's his name? The black man. I think it's the black senator. He's the only other black senator I know that's in the Senate. Not Cory Booker, not Kamala Harris. What is his name? He's a Republican. I cannot think. His name is Tim something. Anyway,
we don't know him.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. You know, I'm the type of person. Look, bro, what you trying to do, bro? Like you kissing white people behind for something I don't understand. Because I really want to talk to you and say, ain't you the same color as me? So then why are you acting like you?
That's the name of the guy with politics.
I do want to interject and say this, because it was just brought to my attention that the antibodies that they have Trump on is called monoclonal. I think that's what it's called. It's from fetal stem cells. So Trump is being saved with dead babies.
Okay, since I'm the health person on here, let me explain something, y'all. The medicine that they have him on, are they giving to the people that they put on ventilators to drain their lungs? Okay, to drain the fluid off of their lungs. Coronavirus is basically an upper respiratory infection times 4, which means your lungs fill up with fluid and you cannot breathe. That's all it is. That's it. Just hard. It's another form of pneumonia. It's just more aggressive, because they don't know how to deal. Like they've never seen this type of aggression in your lungs. So if your lungs collapse because of all the fluid, they put you on a ventilator so your lungs can reboot and stuff. Some people rebound and some people don't. So the medicine that they got him on is to drain fluid off your lungs. He's also on a steroid, which is to help his antibodies kick in faster. Whenever you give a horse steroids, they end up going faster than what they're supposed to. So his body is basically living off of steroids and living off this medicine for him to think and maybe feel like he feels better. But if all that medicine wears off, he's gonna be right back in the hospital. Plus he's 70 something with a pre-existing condition. Do you need Obamacare, sir? You look like you do. So that's just that theory. Like he may act like he ain't got the coronavirus and like that. He got it. Because if you go to the military hospital, you're sick, sir. Y'all can sit here and laugh and patty cake and all that. If he's sick, he got the corona. Trust me, he got it. Guarantee you, he got it. He may act like he ain't got it. They put on the show for his supporters, but he got it. Because everybody around him keep catching it. So who you getting from if you ain't been around nobody?
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I want to talk about the suppression of the Black vote. And I want to encourage, a lot of times when you go to the poll, if you don't have your ID, now some people they let slide. We are not those people, okay? So make sure that you are bringing your ID. Make sure your address match. Make sure that everything that you have, that you need to get your vote, your license, so that you can vote, do that and bring that. Because what we're noticing is that when we get to the poll, a lot of times they'll put those votes to the side if you are missing a license, and they'll tell you that they'll count them later, but those votes are not being counted and those votes are being suppressed. So make sure that you have your ID. And then I also want to speak to those who have felonies or those that have been incarcerated who feel like because they have something on their record that they cannot vote. That law is predicated upon the state that you live in. However, many of the states you can vote even if you had a previous history or previous, even if you're on probation. So it varies based on state. In Georgia, particularly, you can vote if you're on probation. You can vote if you served your time. You can be totally restored. So go to the polls. Don't sit home. Don't feel like I've been incarcerated, I'm canceled out. No, we need every vote to count, and every vote matters. So no voter suppression. Know that they're going to target you. Know that if look and read the actual ballot when you are in the voting booth. Make certain that it says the candidate that you're voting for, and when you get the completed ballot, make sure that you voted for that candidate. I just want you guys to be very aware. In many of your states, there are telephone numbers for those of you that have experienced voter suppression. If you waited in line for too long, if your polls did not work, if there was anything happening at the poll, you need to report it ASAP. Specifically and particularly in the African American communities, because I can guarantee you voter suppression is going to be here. That COVID situation, I believe that all of this is just foolishness, is debauchery, and is getting our attention away from the things that we should be talking about. Now we're talking about Trump and his health. Let's talk about the issue at hand. Make sure you get to the poll. Don't let anything or anybody stop you from getting to the poll. And when you get to the poll, make certain that there is nothing irregularity going on so that your vote will count, okay? So voter suppression is crucial because I guarantee you they're going to try to stop your vote, the black vote.
Question.
Hold on, Josh. Somebody in the comments said, "How do I vote in Tennessee? I have a felony that is 29 years old." So I was just about
to say that.
Okay. Awesome. So I want you to check the law. I don't know the law in that state, but it seems like you've been out for 29 years. It seems like that's your state, Sharice? Okay, great. Awesome. Because it seems like you paid your restitution, but you know that state, Sharice.
Sharice, somebody said, how do I vote in Tennessee? I have a felony that is 29 years old.
So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your local, let me get the address to it. But you're going to go down to the election commission and you're going to state your case. And then if you call the NAACP, actually we're helping with that. Let me get these numbers while we're live. Call your local NAACP office. Let them know that Ms. Cox told you to come, and let them know what's going on. And Vicky Terry, she will help you with that. And we'll go from there. Actually, we have lawyers. Our president actually is a lawyer, and we're helping people get their rights back. And it's not a long out, drawn out process either. So call the local NAACP in the morning and let them know Ms. Cox told you to call. And Vicky Terry should be able to help you with that.
What we're also trying to do, and I know it was kind of last minute, we were going to try to get some more people on here that could actually speak to things like that, because like Ellen was saying, about the got things on their record and things like that. Well, they have turned a lot of things over. And if you don't know that you can go vote and you don't know the avenues to take, then you'll feel like you can't do anything and you'll feel like you're stuck. And like Shelisa was saying, there are ways to get your vote counted. You just have to know the things to do. You got to know the people to talk to. Go ahead.
Jives, let me say this too. And I want the audience to listen to me real good. You cannot wait until it's time to vote to try to reinstate your voting rights. You have all year, all these years have went by, don't wait until the week before early voting to say you want your voting rights restored. Go and take care of your business concerning that before voting comes. It's your right. It's your right. And so that's what we have. We have a lot of problems with that. People are waiting until the last minute and then they can't get help and they get mad. Well, you're the one that knew that you couldn't vote. You're the one that knew that you needed help. So we don't know that. But if you come to us, we will help you get your voting rights restored. So let me just say that. Make sure you guys are taking care of your biz. That's just like if you get to Sabrina said, when you get there to vote, you know the documents that you have to cast your vote. Make sure you have the necessary things that you need to cast a vote. You just cannot walk in there and say, my name is this, and think you're going to cast a vote. No, make sure you have your ID. Make sure in early voting, you can vote at any location. But just make sure you have your ID. Now, when it comes the day of voting, you have to vote in your area, in your district. Make sure you know where to vote. But don't wait till the last minute to come to us and say, well, I need my voting rights restored, because you might not get it restored this term. We can help you for next term, but it's a little too late for this term.
Sabrina?
I want to commission them. There is a form. I'm Googling this now. And so according to the conviction on or after May 18th, 1981, that anyone who has committed a felony in the state of Tennessee, they may have restoration voting rights, but what they would have to do is to complete a form. And so to my sister's point, go tomorrow, you need to be finding that form and completing that form to see if your voting rights can be restored. Okay, so go look for that form. It's the restoration of the voting rights form in Tennessee, and it basically, anyone who committed a felony after May 18th, 1981 should be able to have their rights restored according to that act.
Text that link to me. And I'm gonna post it up here so that people can so that they're not made, like I didn't know. I want the people to have no excuse.
If they
go ahead, Shelisa.
So if they go to the NAACP, the NAACP has those forms. If you are in Memphis, Tennessee, you can go to your local NAACP office. I know for a fact that we have those forms there, and we try to help you get your voting rights restored. Now, if you are anywhere else in the state of Tennessee, I'm not sure of that, but go to your any local office, government office, and ask the questions of how can you get your voting rights restored.
Also, I also want to mention this. You mentioned the NAACP, and that's a very valid point. The NAACP will help you get to the poll. So if you don't have a way to the poll, if you are far, if you're in a rural area and if there's no buses, there's no public transportation, many of your local body churches and your African-American civil rights organizations will help you with getting a ride to the poll. So call them now, call them in advance, and try to establish some type of ride or transportation so that you're not waiting until the 11th hour to vote, okay? And then also take advantage of early voting. Y'all know y'all don't want to be in no long line. Y'all know. Listen, everybody is running from COVID. You really think you want to stand online to vote? Okay, no, you don't want to do that. So vote early. Go ahead and get it over with. Vote early. Let your vote count early. Try to take advantage. Most states have a 2-week advanced early voting. Okay, so you can go early. You can go early in the morning. You can go late at night, and you can avoid those lines, especially if you are a senior and you know that you are susceptible. Anybody with a weak immune system, if you're susceptible to COVID, or if it's going to, if you're going to be fatigued at the poll, if it's going to be overwhelming, please do that early, okay? Let's try to have our seniors get in and get out so that you won't have to experience what may occur on election day. So just wanted to give you guys some tips on things that we can do to prevent voter suppression.
I know for me, I'm gonna early vote, but I know on Super Tuesday I'm probably gonna take the day off to take people around, like driving around all day to dropping them off, picking them up, that type of stuff, whatever the case may be. But I got a feeling that these Trump supporters gonna be at these polls trying to scare y'all. Let me tell y'all something. If you have to kick off in one of their behinds to cast your vote, you do that. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Cause they stupid. Like, I seen a couple of them today, walking down the street and stuff like that. Man, look, bro. I don't mind kicking off in nobody behind, especially none of them.
We're not gonna worry about Trump supporters. We're just gonna worry about
I ain't worrying about them.
Getting up to them, to that machine and vote. That's what we're gonna worry about. We can't worry about, the negativity. We just want everybody to vote for Joe Biden, and do what you need to do and go on back home. That's all we want you to do. Put your mask and your gloves on and vote for my friend Joe Biden. That's all I want you to do.
I'm gonna vote for Joe Biden. I'm gonna vote for Kamala Harris. Well, excuse me, as Fox News call her, Kamala Harris.
And make sure you let your friends know on that phone. Text your friends, inbox your friends, make them phone calls to your friends and let them know, go vote. During Thanksgiving, we have those calls that we put everybody in a group text. Let's group text and say, go vote. Let's do that.
But it really tripped me out with the whole voter suppression thing in Kentucky. When they closed them doors and all them black people was beating on the windows and stuff and trying to vote, man, I got so mad. I was like, see, if I was just to bust one of them windows and letting them people in there to vote, like, I don't know, man. Like, y'all want black people to be nice and y'all don't want us to be so, so vulgar and angry and all this other type of stuff, man. Look what y'all do. Like, come on, man.
I'm gonna say this,
guys. Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm just trying to. I'm putting this thing on.
I want to say something else about your IDs and voter suppression. It's also important the type of ID you have. I know that here in Georgia, that they stop a lot of college students when they present their college ID. So everything that you may think is government ID, it may not be. So you want to make sure you have your driver's license. According to this statistic, it says over 21 million U.S. citizens do not have government issued photo identification. Okay, 21 million. And if you don't have the proper ID, your social security card is not considered an ID. Your college ID in some states is not considered an ID. You want to have a voter's license. You want to have a driver's license. You want to have a voter registration card. You want to have those things. Look up the voting ID laws in your particular state. Don't go to the poll with the wrong information, because guess what? Your vote is not going to be counted, and we want to make sure that you are counted on that day. The other thing that you mentioned earlier, sis, that I want to piggyback on is know where your election poll site is. So every year people get confused where they need to show up. And if you show up at the wrong poll, guess what? They will not permit you to vote. And you can waste a lot of time in lines at the wrong location. So guess what? Now that it's early voting, vote early or find out where your poll is early so that you can show up at the right place, because you cannot just show up at any precinct and vote. It has to be the precinct that is assigned to your local address, okay? So those are some tips on voter suppression as well.
Also, just to make this little tidbit, Kyrie.
So, Jives, let me give this.
Oh, give me 1 second, Shelisa. There are other people that are running. There are other people that are running to be president. Please don't be swayed by that. It's just a way and a ploy to divide the votes.
The black vote.
Just like
Who else running for president? Who else running for president? You talking about?
it was this lady running. I don't know who she is. Somebody else running. It's like two other people. But
you talking about Camila West? Excuse me, Kanye West.
No. Okay, somebody just put it. Joe Jorgensen, and it's somebody else. They're running, but see what they're doing is they're trying to divide the votes. That's all they're doing. That's the purpose. That was the purpose of a Kanye West. Is trying to divide the votes. You guys have got.
I thought his name was Keisha.
Huh?
I thought his name was Keisha.
Absolutely.
I thought his name was Keisha.
So Jive.
Go ahead, Shelisa, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ms.
Let me give this number out, and this is number to the NAACP Memphis branch. It is 901-521-1343. I'm going to repeat. It's 901-521-1343. Also, if you guys need a ride to the polls, if you know that you cannot get to the polls, call me, Shelisa, at 901-315-8789, and I will make sure I will give your name to the necessary people in the Democratic Party to service your area, for them to come and pick you up to get you to the poll, because we want you to go to the poll. We don't want in ballots. We want you guys to actually go to the polls. So I'm going to give my number out again. It's 901-315-889. The NAACP's number is 901-521-1343. Make sure you guys utilize those numbers if you need a ride to the poll or if you need your voters' rights restored. I will be happy to serve you. And Vicky Terry will be as well.
Okay. If you are national, no matter what state you live in the USA, okay? Because I realize that some of you are not in Georgia, some of you are not in North Carolina, and some of you are not in Tennessee. The Uber and rideshare, they're offering $10. Okay, they're giving $10 for rides to the poll. Okay, it's a discount only offered for the cheapest option that is the nearest voting site to your house. That's Uber, that's Express Pool, that is, and also Lyft, and also Lime. So I have the one that's for Atlanta, but that's happening nationally. If you cannot get to a local NAACP, if you don't know who to call, most of you have Uber app in your phone, okay? You have Uber app in your phone. They're giving $10, a $10 discount code for you to get to the poll. Your local poll should not cost you more than $10 to get to, okay? If it costs you more than $10, then 9 times out of 10, you're voting in the wrong precinct. Exactly. So make sure that you keep that $10 free ride, Uber and Lyft, and the NAACP. We want to thank you, Sister Shelisa, and everything that you guys are doing, and the Democratic Party as well as the NAACP, because many of us would not be where we are if it had not been for the NAACP. Even the Black church, formulated, founded, and was birthed out of that whole movement. So it's good to know that the NAACP is still living and still moving.
So let me say something to your point you just made about the getting to the polls in the precinct. Remember, doing early voting, you can go to any location that they're serving early voting, that they're doing early voting at. They're only doing early voting. The day of the election is when you have to go to the point place of voting in your district. So remember that. Doing early voting, you can go to any voting place that's open. But doing the day of election, you have to
that's
go
in your
to
county.
the one that's with your zip code, that's around your zip code.
I'm gonna say this disclaimer. I love politics, but I can't be in politics because this mouth, I'll be fired first day.
Well, they cuss anyway. So I guess the people that the other two people that are running also London is Joe Jorgensen, and he's a Libertarian Party. He's in the Libertarian Party, and Howie Hankson.
Hawkins. That's Howie Hawkins.
Him. Hawkins.
I never heard of Thelma and Louise, so I really don't
I
care.
don't know Thelma, Martha, Roberta. I don't know who none of these people are. But again, like I said, y'all,
you said what now?
What's important, what we're saying tonight, we're not trying to tell you like, okay, don't vote Republican, don't listen. We're trying to tell you for this country, vote what's best for this country. If you all have seen everything that has happened in the past 4 years,
absolutely,
and you are not happy, wait a minute. Okay, there we go. And you do my Instagram had went out, and you do not like what's going on, then vote right. Now, me personally, if and I'm just gonna say this, if I happen to agree or I feel that Trump has done something that I liked, I would go and vote for him. I'm not happy, so I'm not voting for him. Am I happy with the other choice? Not really. But I'd rather vote for him than him. I mean, I don't know.
You don't have another choice. You don't have a
okay, since you brought that up, I'm glad you brought that up, Jives. Now I told you I was trying to be nice and I come out of pocket with you, but since you want me to come on out this gate, I'm gonna give it to you. So what other choice did we have?
We don't have no other choice.
Nah. What other choice did we have? That's what I asked you. I said, what other choice did we have?
You said, what other choice did we have?
What other choice did we have?
We don't have no other choice.
No. Remember it was like about a good 30 of them out there? What other choice do we have? For the demographic of the United States, the best choices in front of us is guess what? He's an old white man. Majority of the presidents of the United States have been white men. So history lesson real quick. The only reason why Obama got it now is because he had a white vice president and a lot of other stuff that George Bush had messed up, and we as a country got behind him and we was tired of what we was going through. So I got good faith.
We wanted change.
Right, I got good faith.
We were excited for the change message. That's what we was excited for. He had a white man. It wasn't a full black cabinet. That's the thing. And he was light enough to pass. See, he wasn't as dark as my shirt. He was light enough
to
pass. That was that brown paper bag thing. He was light enough to pass and to sit amongst the whites. So his white counterpart, Joe Biden, he was white enough to be able to sit up here and say the things that he said, but they still treated him as such. So at the end of the day, Obama came with the message of change is good. And then, yes, we can, and all this other stuff like that. We believe that. And to be honest with you, me personally, not because he was black, but I enjoyed watching this man being in office because it was like, okay, I saw him working. Anybody else, it was like it was a struggle. Now I'm just saying,
it wasn't a struggle for me. I voted for Obama because he was black. I'm saying that right now. I didn't care about no politics. We finally got an African American in the White House. Let me go ahead and go vote for this man. Go ahead, Mr.
So let me say this, and anybody that knows about politics or politicians, we know that Barack Obama did a great job, but who was his vice president? Joe
Joseph
Biden.
R.
And
Biden.
we also
Yes, ma'am.
know that when you're at the top, it's just like me. I have a team that's up under me. I serve as the chair, but I can call my team and tell them to go to this place and that place. So actually, I'm at home while they're working. So remember that while he was the president and done a great job, Joe Biden, he did most of the work. So let's remember that,
Mm-hmm.
y'all, when we go to the polls this time, that Joe Biden, he was the one that ran the country. He had to go to
President ain't
Obama
nothing
for
but a
some
figurehead.
things, but he mostly ran the country. So let's remember that. Let's just remember that.
Now,
I
Shelby,
I
really
think.
miss.
explain that.
Go ahead. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Go
No,
ahead, Sabrina.
I miss complete sentences. I miss Barack Obama. I mean, I think that he did a dynamic job. And he spent 8 years and he left. He's one of the only people that left without scandal. He represented us well. Could have done more for Black people, of course, but he represented us well. And right now we have somebody in office that's schizophrenic. He needs help. He needs a whole lot of Jesus,
Yes.
oil, eggs, bacon, ham. Just we got to get him out. I don't care what y'all think about Biden, okay? Like
Did you say
Trump has to
Absolutely.
go. Like reality, like he is just not fit. He is unfit.
Sabrina?
He is unstable. He
Absolutely.
is unfit. And had Obama did even half of what he did, y'all would have threw him under the pavement
Mm-hmm.
because he's
He
Black.
would have been gone.
Even
He would have
Bump.
if the
Bump.
whole his wife's situation, any of it. So the disparities that we see in America, there's still so much racial divide, and it has to go. And some of that is predicated and skewed because of the leadership, the executive leadership that we have. We don't need any more of that. America is racist enough. We don't need a president as a reminder. So please, I don't care what you think about Biden. Trump is schizophrenic, okay? He's schizophrenic.
Okay,
He has
so
to
hold
go.
on.
Please go vote him out.
So somebody said in the comments that Biden is going to be a one-term president and that he's setting up Kamala Harris to be the first woman Black president, whatever the case may be. If that is the case, I'll take that. But I don't think that's the case. I think Biden is going to do his
I
8
don't think it's
years
the
and then
case either,
Kamala
but
going
I
to probably
sure would
take
love
over.
it.
I mean, I love it, but
Let me say this.
I'm gonna say this disclaimer real quick. Y'all women don't
Somebody
beat me
said
up.
Trump. Okay, go
Hold
ahead,
on,
y'all.
I ain't trying not to go. I'm not trying. I'm trying to be good. I ain't got my medicine yet. I'm trying to be good because I seen it. So I think to me that America is. I know the Black people are ready for a woman, but America itself is not ready for a woman to run the country. I'm just gonna say that. Now y'all can beat me up if you want to. I take all the blows from all the women that's watching, but how America is set up and designed, they're not ready for a woman. Y'all even have like women even in politics get flack for stuff that I feel like they don't need to get flack for. Like if a woman cuts you out or whatever the case may be, and she right to cuss you out, y'all be talking about, oh, she's angry, she's this, she's that. But a man can slap a woman, rape a woman, can call all types of names and everything, and be straight with it. I feel like America is not ready yet. Now when they gonna be ready, I don't know. But as right now, they're not ready for it because that was because Hillary Clinton was the one. They was ready. And then my thing is Hillary was a white woman, not a Black woman. So it's different. I mean, I don't know. Like
So let me
I'm
say
just gonna call, I'm
this.
just
You got a good
go
point.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I call a spade a spade. Like
Whether
America's not ready.
whether it's the case or not that he be one term, our goal as Black African American people, and some of my friends are white that are Democrats, our goal this term is to get Trump out of office. All of that other stuff is irrelevant right now. Let's go vote for Biden, okay? And let's get Trump out. That's the goal. Whether he
Well,
served one term or 6 months, honey, let's get Trump out. We ain't
well,
worried about nothing else.
not only is it that, but it's once we get Trump out of office, the next people that get in office, listen, this is what we need y'all to do. Ice Cube said something, and he said to so many words, our vote does matter. And so if we give you our vote, what are you giving us? This is my thing. We are going out, and these people are coming to our churches. That's why I think the Lord has shut the church down so these folks can't come to our churches. But these folks are going to all the neighborhoods, all the rallies, and all this other stuff like this so that they can get black votes. My thing is, once you get our vote, what are you going to give us? I don't have time for no more failed promises. Me personally, I want Trump out of there just like the next person. But at the same time, when I get Trump out of there, Joe Biden, Joseph, Theodore, or Bartholomew Biden. Listen, there are some things that I need you to do for the black people and white folks alike.
All right.
The Mario.
What happened?
London. Let me make this point quick so Demario can come.
Go ahead, because I'm about to come out this gate on this one lady.
No.
She asked
Demario.
A question, and I'm going to respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Let me put some in your ear because you don't understand the game of politics, baby. If we do vote Trump out, Biden and Kamala Harris is not going to be able to just go in the White House and just do a miracle. Let's understand that, okay? Your point is very good, but they're not going to be able to work a miracle. Look at all the things that this man has done. Look at how everything that they would have to go in and straighten up.
But
it's
Shelisa,
not going to be a magic show.
Shelisa,
Our
I get
goal,
that part.
though, is to stop the madness.
Shelisa, I get that part, what you're saying. And I don't negate that. None of that. No, I do get it because every president that gets in office has to typically clean up what the last person has done. So
hold on. Not necessarily, because if Trump got office,
every politician.
Let me finish. Now, Trump didn't have to undo anything. It was like really, really smooth for him when he went in there. But if and when Kamala Harris and Joe Biden get in office, they're going to spend the majority of 2 years cleaning up Trump the dump mess. They're gonna spend 2 years cleaning it up.
Absolutely.
And everybody's gonna be mad. Everybody's gonna be mad at them because they're not doing what they promised. Well, it's not that they're not doing what they promised. They have to clean up and make things right in order to move forward. And that's the same thing that Obama did when he got in office from Bush. He spent the majority of 2 years cleaning up Bush's mess. So, I mean, I get you, Shelisa. I get it. But I do understand the game that they're going to have to clean up when they get in.
They're going to have to do some massive cleanup.
And make it stick. Let it stick to you.
But okay, so
I'm gonna throw this.
I'm gonna throw this out here. So for all y'all who like to get abortions and all this stuff,
London,
you might no.
Don't go in on the lady.
I'm not going in on the lady. I'm gonna get Maryland later. I'm gonna get her later. That's gonna be on the first thing on Friday on the docket. I'm gonna get her later. Yeah, I got to marinate on that for 2 days. So for all y'all who don't think that the Supreme Court matters and the justices, Let me help you understand something. That matters. Okay? Ruth Bader Ginsburg was the one justice that I was hoping and praying did not die before this election. Well, God seen for her to come home early. Y'all need to vote for the presidency just for that one specific reason. Because everything that from Roe v. versus Wade, from gays to get married, for the Affordable Care Act, for the act of if you gay, you cannot be fired. All of that is gonna come right back up. And if you got 5 conservative justices versus 4 liberals, guess what? You are FUCK, especially if it's a Roe v. versus Wade situation. So I'm gonna go and throw that out since y'all think that the Supreme Court is just people that be governing. No, the Supreme Court is the people that affects your everyday life too. Don't forget about that.
Young man, you're pretty smart.
My grandmother made me watch history, read history. I'm a bookworm. She made me read Roots and watch it. So a lot of this stuff is because of her, and that's the reason why I fell in love with history. Go ahead.
So let me ask you this: are you a part of what city are you in?
I'm in Jacksonville. Florida. Am I a part of any organization?
Are you a part of your local?
No.
Okay.
My mouth is a little reserved. My mouth is a little too reckless for them.
No, I think that you're making great points. I would suggest that you join the Young Democrats in your city, and maybe you can make a difference with your mouth. Because I think we need more of that as Democrats. You're very smart.
I've been told that before.
What you're doing.
Yeah, I've been told that before. I can make a difference with my mouth.
Yeah, it's confirmation. I'm looking right at you.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we need more of that. If I based off you hear the tone of my voice? If I based that off of what I did, I wouldn't be doing anything. I used to get that all the time. But I keep doing what I do because I love what I do. It's my passion. And I think that you need to become a part of that in your city. Even you, Jives, since you're doing what you're doing and you have this platform, become a part of something that's going to make a difference. And you can say that your name was on that. So that's what I would suggest to you guys tonight. You guys are very smart. And I would just suggest that you guys get your names out there.
I'll look into it and let you know. I'm gonna have to pray before I get there because I know me. I'm gonna go out the gate, especially if you trying my gangster. Go ahead, Sabrina. What am I looking for?
Thank you. I love you, London. You're so real, transparent, and funny. I wanted to piggyback off what you said earlier, Demario. And to your point, I think that there is definitely a level of accountability that politicians have to have. Often, too many times, we do just vote party slate, and we allow them to just run amok. And it goes back to my point earlier. Everybody, our color is not our kind. So it's really important when people say that they are going to do things, that they do them. You come into our churches and you lie to us. You come into our schools and you lie to us. You make commercials and you lie to us. There are some things that you can do. Particularly, there are pieces of legislation that you could either try to pass or, for God's sake, at least write it. And I want to say this because so many times we get bamboozled as African American people when it comes to certain things that have been tied to our district or tied to our race, like Planned Parenthood. And when you mention those things like abortion rights and Planned Parenthood, that was initially started for the annihilation of Black people.
I mean, Sabrina,
and oftentimes you always find them in Black areas. And oftentimes we are always supporting those things because we are typically Democrats. So I really want people to vote consciousness and not just politically affiliation or political parties, but really vote consciously. And because I'm serious, like everybody that's a Democrat is not really for our area or our community or for the survival of the African American race. So it's just crucial. Like know what they stand for, know what they're voting. Check people's voting records. Check out what they voted on when they were in office. Did they support your ideas? Did they support what you support? Because guess what? We tired of seeing hashtags. We tired of seeing black hoodies. And a lot of that would change if we voted.
So I'm gonna piggyback off what Sabrina said.
I'm just saying, like we got out of this party with that party. Like black people are smarter than that. We smarter than that, and we need to hold people. I don't care if you a Democrat. Hold your ass accountable. What you gonna do for my people? That's what I want to know. What you gonna do for my people?
All right, since the pastor done cuss, let's get it on, baby. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna piggyback off what Sabrina said. I think the problem with black people, and y'all can get mad at me all y'all want to. I don't care. Y'all depend on the government to take care of y'all. For what, bro? This government don't give a F about us. Like an F. They don't care. Because if they cared, some of the same stuff that white people get and some of the same privileges that white people get, guess what? We as African Americans will get them. Guess what? We don't get them like that. They want to see you struggle and be on food stamps and be on HUD that Dr. Ben Carson run. That's the in his space. Nigga, you graduated from medical school. Why is you Secretary of Health of Housing Development? Please explain that to me. That's the slap in his face. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But get off the system. Stop letting the system pump you out. Like, it's okay to get off of it and actually try to make a decent living without the government helping you. Because technically, food stamps and the housing development and Planned Parenthood was technically not for black people. Well, Planned Parenthood was, but food stamps and housing, that wasn't for us. That was for white people. It just happened back, I think, in the 60s when they decided to allow or to help us. That's how the food stamp stuff started. And that's how we started getting housing. And that's how we started getting grants and all this other stuff. Because technically back then, they didn't have a choice to do it because that was back in the civil rights era. Like, wake up, people. The March on Washington wasn't nothing but 57 years ago. That's not a long time. Like, the USA, it's straight to live here, especially if you were born here and stuff like that. But if you're an African American, bro, you got it twice as hard. Especially if you're a male, you got it even worse. And if you're a female, you even got it worse.
Many of those programs keep the black family divided because those social programs make sure that you can't have the father in the house. Those social programs will give you a house just to make sure that your man is not living with you. So I'm not saying that you can't start on those programs, but those programs shouldn't be generational blessings. Okay, those programs shouldn't be a come up. Those programs
what I'm
are not designed for us to have wealth in our community or for us to live. In fact, they separate the black family. They keep the black man, just like the school to prison pipeline. So is those social programs. So I know y'all not gonna like this, but it's tight and it's right, and we gotta do better as a people. And like you said, Demario, we gotta hold politicians accountable. I don't care if you say you a libertarian, a politarian, a bulletarian. I don't care what you say you are. I want to know what you're gonna do for black people. I want to know what you're gonna do for the church. I want to know what you're gonna do for the community. That's all I want to know. Because guess what? For those of us who have been fortunate, like W.E.B. Du Bois said, the talented 10%, you've been fortunate to get your money and move out of the urban community. I'm one of them. You've been fortunate to put your kids in private school. You've been fortunate to have a better life. But what about the marginalized, the voiceless that are still there? And most of the people who so-called are speaking on behalf of those that don't have a voice have been bought out. They've been sold, and they've been sold, and they under the Democratic Party, and they under these parties that so-called fight for Black people. So we got to really start checking people at the gate. What are you not? What have you done? What have you done for me lately? You got to sing a Janet Jackson on them. And what you gonna do when we put you there? And if we put you there, just like Cherie said, it's a job. You have been commissioned to serve the people. We don't serve you. You serve the people. It's a job. Do your job or leave. And if you don't leave, we're going to vote you out. And that's what we got to do for Trump, y'all. Vote his butt out. He has not been a good president. Vote him out. Vote him out. He has not done his job. Effective immediately. Got to go.
With that being said, let me also say this to piggyback off of everybody. And that's this. And I've been talking about this for a while.
I haven't made my point.
Let her make her point.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you're referring to me? Or Sheree? I'm done. That's it. I just want people to do their job. I don't care what you ascribe to. Do your job. Because if you don't do your job, we're going to vote you out. I'm going to be the one with the bullhorn. In front of your office, you better ask Georgia. They know about it. I'm work with party line. I don't care what you say you are. I don't care what you say you are. You better do your job, and you better do your job for our people, because that's what I'm checking. I'm checking your voting record. I'm checking that you doing what you said you was going to do.
Yeah, your name ain't Dr. Sabrina Mckenzie no more. Your name is Dr. Thug Mckenzie. That's your name. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me make a couple of points because I look at it both ways. I am not one-sided when it comes to the poor people, because we know poor people is going to be among us always. I serve poor people all the time. Actually, my heart is to serve those persons, and I'm not going to even call them poor, because all of us are one paycheck away from being in their situation. These housing and community developments are there for a reason. Anything can happen to a family, that a family can be misplaced. Just like COVID-19 hit all of us. I guarantee you, we were getting that food, or we knew if we needed to get the food, how to get it. So life happens. So again, I look at it on both sides. It's good. We can point the finger all day, but our city get money to redevelop these housing projects. I mean, that's what it's for. Everybody can't afford to live where we live, or everybody don't have that mindset to get out of poverty. And then I'm gonna go back and say this: life can happen to you tomorrow that you will have to go to a housing community development, baby, if you don't have another choice. I see it every day. So let's be a little bit compassionate when it comes to that, because I'm very compassionate, because I know what life can do to you. Okay, so that's my first point. Let's go to these politicians. And I keep hearing you guys say, let's make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. Yeah, they're going to do what they're supposed to do if you stay on them. If you have a voice in your community to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do, if you support them, you let them know that you have their back, they're going to do what they're supposed to do. Thank God in the city of Memphis, we don't have politicians like that, because they know when Ms. Cox called, don't let me call.
Wait, we ain't got no politics like that, no man.
What you need to do. Just do what you need to do.
Nah, Shelisa, we got some.
Jives, stay in Florida.
What?
Stay in Florida, Jives. Don't come to Memphis, baby, because you ain't been here in a couple of years. Stay in Florida.
I'm about to start this for free pass.
So here's my thing, and I hear you, Shelisa. I get it, but let me say this.
Yeah, I'm very compassionate about it because tomorrow if something can happen to you and your family. And if you come to me and say you need a place to stay, then I'm gonna help you get a place to stay in an area that's nice. I mean, life happens, y'all. We don't know what happened. So
that's the missing the whole point. That's not what we were saying. That's not what we said. We didn't. The compassion is there. What we were doing was advocating on behalf of the marginalized. Nobody is saying that the programs are not needed. What we were saying is don't make it a way of life. And that is the difference. When you have 4 or 5 generations on a system, that's a difference. Yes, life happens. And yes, the programs are necessary. Nobody is more compassionate than the people on this panel. I fight for domestic violence victims every day. I take money out of my pocket, okay, and put people up, women and children. So compassion is not what we're lacking. But we are talking to our community, and we're saying when we are taking advantage of different things that it shouldn't be a scapegoat because we can do better. We are brilliant. I don't care if you sitting and playing a Nintendo in your house. We are a brilliant people. And we don't have to stay there. We can start there. We don't have to stay there.
Wait. Hold on. Let me say this. I get what everybody's saying, and I don't want us to get off on, I don't want nobody to feel disrespectful or anything like that. But let me say this. If we're trying to make a difference in anything in this country, if we don't get out here and make the difference and make the moves. Obama came out here and he was the president. Cool. He came out here, made the moves. He had to fight. But let's go back to all of these hashtags like Sabrina was saying. And then I'm going to go to Shelisa because Shelisa made a good point too. And so did London. Here's the thing. We're asking for somebody else. Just like we're praying to a God. We want God to come down here and make miracles happen for us. What happened to the fact that we could make moves? He's given us the ability to make moves ourselves. We sit out here and we're complaining about hashtags. Well, here, I got something else about hashtags too. Why is it that we'll sit here and we'll record the police, right? We'll record the police beating our loved ones, knocking our loved ones down, killing our loved ones, but nobody's going to put the camera down and go make a difference and say, hey, put your hands on them, back up. Because again, the reason why they can do that is because they know in our communities that we're not going to do anything at all. Malcolm X said by any means necessary. If we could sit out here and we could take our $1,100 phones that we probably still paying on, and you go out here recording just so you can put it on social media, this whole George Floyd thing, everybody was out there with cameras and stuff recording buildings being burned down, but nobody took the initiative to stop the police officer, to get the police officer off the man, because again, y'all crying, oh, George Floyd, but nobody went to go get the man off George Floyd. Well, no, because Mario, they gonna shoot us. Well, listen, that's just gonna be one of the things you gotta take. Because at the end of the day, if you don't try, if you don't get out here and do something, then we'll be sitting here forever complaining about what needs to be done. At the end of the day, and I hear y'all, Sabrina, I hear you. Shelisa, I hear you. At the end of the day, Shalisa's out here in the community. She's helping people, all this stuff like that. But at the end of the day, how to our people, when do we say, you know what? I really don't want to be on the system no more. What can I do to help myself not be in this situation anymore? How can we help people get to that place? Because like you said, Shelisa, everybody's not fortunate.
Demario.
Huh? Shelisa?
Baby, let me say this, okay? It's not my business to tell somebody how to get off a system when they need help.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their own timing to do that. It's not Demario Jives' business to tell somebody why he's helping them. Let me show you how to do this. Their mindset might not be there yet. Just because your mindset is not there does not mean somebody else's mindset is not there. And I'm telling you what I know, because I used to be just like that until I ran into a single mom with 5 children. I felt so sorry for this lady. All I wanted to do was provide shelter for her. I didn't care why. And as y'all can see, I'm getting loud because I'm very compassionate about this thing. I did not care why she got in the situation she was in. That's not my damn business. My business was to help her get out the rain that night, and that's what I did. And when I got through calling, the next day, she had her own place to stay. Now, again, what she did after that, that's her business. But it wasn't Miss Cox's business to ask her why she was there. It was not my business to ask her why she was in that situation. My job was to help her get housing for her and her children.
That's not what I'm saying.
You just said it, Jives. You just said it. Then I made sure her children got into Shelby County schools because they need the education. Hell, it was not my job to say, why you here?
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm a digress. Don't do me tonight, because I promise
Shelisa,
I will go there with you concerning this. I do not play.
No, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
We need to mind our business. If you're gonna help somebody, help them. Help
Shelisa.
them. It's not your business to know why. Help.
Okay. So I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying, and I don't want this to become a banter like that. I get what you're saying. What I'm getting at is that at some point, if I like you're doing, and you are doing a great job helping people get on their feet and move forward. Me personally, this is just me. If I can help somebody along the way with where I've come from and where I'm going to, then I'm going to do that for somebody else. And you're correct. Everybody don't want that. Some people, they just want food stamps. And baby, if you just want food stamps, hey, I'm going to give you the food stamps and get you housed and get your children in school and call it a day. Because you're right. Everybody don't want that. Some people, they just want to be helped.
But it ain't your business, and it's not your business to judge them because they want that.
I'm not judging, Shelisa. I'm not judging.
Okay, I'm just saying because we're too and this is another thing. And again, I'm finna go here, and I get very upset. Because we are so busy being in other people's business until we're not helping anybody. We think we're better than each other, and that's not how we're supposed to be. It's not.
Can I say something?
If you're gonna help. And no judging. Let's not judge.
Sabrina.
Can I say something, Jives? Can I say something? Jives.
No. Go ahead.
I just want to say something. First of all, I love Shelisa's heart. I love her heart. I just love her heart towards the marginalized. I only have one comment regarding the marginalized and that situation. Just as clergy and as a women's activist, my philosophy is if I give you a fish, you're gonna eat for a day. But if I teach you how to fish, you're gonna eat for a life. And so I just believe in helping people to get better and to help themselves. But now you brought up such a profound point, Jives, and I don't even know if you know, it segged us back into the part of voting, which is what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about voting, why we should vote, and making sure that people turn out for the election. Okay, so that's our purpose. That's our goal. That's what this is what the fire said. Okay, we talking about voting. So, but this is what you said that I just thought was so profound. You said everybody was sitting there watching George Floyd, hit the guy with his knee on his neck, the police officer, and nobody went over there to stop it. Nobody went over there to help him. And you said, what if somebody would have just went over there, risked their lives? Maybe they would have got shot, but they would have made a difference. I want to say that even goes back to voting. You know why? Because the people that are over the police department, had that police officer known that he was going to be penalized, that he was going to receive some type of I guess some type of penalty for what he did, some type of jail time. Like, he was so arrogant in his approach to policing because of the people that are over him, knowing that he would get away with it. How many times have we seen this, again, hashtag after hashtag, hoodie after hoodie, and the police officers walk away and the police officers serve no jail time? Well, if we voted for the correct people, if we put people in office who have the heart of the community, then those police officers would be held accountable. Then they would think twice before they did that, because in their minds, they would know they would have to face some type of consequence for what they're doing. So I want to encourage people, based on what our purpose is tonight, vote. Because some of that is because those police officers understand they're going to get a slap on the wrist. Look at Sandra Bland. I mean, the list goes on. Look at Tamir Rice. Look at, the list is just long. Vote. We as Black people, we don't have the luxury not to vote. And you're right, Jives. The police are taking advantage of the fact that it's like KKK with a hood. It's like they remove the hood and they have police badges. And we have to vote so that we can get the right sheriffs, so that we can get the right administrators over the police department, so that we can get the right attorney generals, so that we can get the right judges, so that we don't have to continue to this cycle or the perpetuation of this systemic evil of racism without the hood. And so vote. I want y'all to vote. We could talk all day about the marginalized, but the reality is, if you don't take your butt to the poll, we gonna be in trouble. Vote. And if those officers knew they would be held accountable, if they knew that when they did that they would have to pay insurance, if they knew that their families would be personally sued, if they knew that the police department would be sued, and if they knew that they would serve jail time, they would not commit those heinous crimes against innocent people. So what we can do, Jives, if you're not bad enough to go and snatch that police officer off of that man, if you're not bad enough to risk your life, the least you can do is vote.
I have a question.
Can I say?
Before you stand on, I have a question. Now, because this last election, and I was trying to get here, this last election was such a shit show. Everybody been cussing tonight, so I'm going. Fuck it, I'm here.
I ain't said a cuss word yet.
Shut your ass up. Yeah, I'm just.
All right, there you go.
It was such a shit show. And ever since this man has been in office, it's been a complete shit show after shit show after shit show. If the popular vote does not count, how do we make a difference with the Electoral College? Because obviously, the Electoral College is the one that has the final say. Because this is my thing. Everything that we saw, Hillary Clinton should have been our sitting president right now. Hillary Clinton should be our sitting president right now. How do we make a difference not only with our regular vote, but with the Electoral College? Now, we've said a lot of great things tonight. A lot of great things tonight. A lot of feelings are in the air about things. But how do we make a difference not only with our vote, but the electoral college. Because ultimately, you can, as we saw, you can have millions of votes, but if the electoral college say, yeah, you got 1 million votes, well, we don't want you, we want them. What do we do then? London?
Okay. So, history lesson real quick. This has only happened, I think, 3 times where the popular vote was more, and then the electoral college was something completely different. I think for me, because of the image that they were finna have a woman as the president, that kind of made it seem like she won the popular vote, yes, but she didn't win in the electoral college. She didn't win in the right states. She didn't win the states that basically Obama won in 2012. She didn't win those states. Now, if she would have won Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Wisconsin, if she would have if she would have won the Rust Belt states, she'll be in the White House right now. It's a demographic. Like, I don't know no other way. Until they get rid of the electoral college, we're gonna always have to go through this. But they're gonna have to get rid of that. If they don't get rid of the electoral college, there's nothing that we can do besides vote in the midterm election like we did 2 years ago, which made the House of Representatives become Democratic, and we had a balance of powers. But even with the balance of powers, even with the Senate right now, the Senate, even with the House being Democratic, the Senate is Republican. Nothing that they can really do. You just gonna have to get your ass out and motherfucking vote.
So with that said, London, let's do this. Shelisa, there are some political figures in your state, in your city. Same thing with you, Sabrina. London, us. Okay, so how many votes currently does Trump have versus Biden? How many electoral votes does Biden have versus Trump? This is what we need to look at and figure out how to make a difference there. Because Shelisa, and it's great, we're helping people, but like you said, let's direct the people to let's get out here and vote, because we're gonna be helping y'all on the back end. We're gonna be helping y'all get your kids, get on the system and all this other stuff. But I need y'all to get out. We need to figure out how to vote the right way. You get what I'm saying?
So Demario, you keep missing it, because that's what we've been doing since January.
No.
That's what the Democratic. Let me get through. That's what the Democratic Party of Shelby County and the Democratic women of Shelby County been doing since January. We've been doing this all year. We ain't just come up and say, "Oh, it's time to vote. Let's get started." We've always had our plan, baby. We've been doing this. So this is nothing new for us. So we have the young Democrats here in the state of Tennessee or in Memphis that's doing a great job in order to get the electoral vote out. Alexandra, he's the president. He's doing a great job to make sure the young people get to the polls, to make sure these college students are getting to the polls. We've reached out to the sororities, the presidents of the sororities, to make sure that they get the people out to vote. We also have reached out to the AKA president to make sure that her people that are attorneys that's in her sorority make sure that nobody is cheating on election day. Baby, this is nothing new for us. We've been doing this. It's a heart thing, boo.
Shelisa,
it's a heart thing. It's not a show thing. It's not about a show.
I'm not. That's not what I'm saying is, and what you said, I appreciate that, because I didn't know that. And again, because this is part of the stuff that I do on this platform. If I don't know something, then let me know. Say, Mario, we've been doing this. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. So I'm glad that you
I need you to watch my Facebook page, baby.
Baby, I'm gonna be eyes peeled. You know what I'm trying to tell you? Because I didn't know that you all were educating
attention because we've been doing this all year.
I didn't know that you all were educating people about the electoral vote. Because again, everybody is saying go vote, but they're not talking about the vote that really matters. Everybody's not talking about the vote.
That's why we've been talking about it since January, because that's how Hillary lost. So again, when you're when you're dealing with politics, when you're dealing with a organization that deals with politics, we've already done our homework for the next election. It's nothing new to us. We've been doing this, boo. And it's a hard thing with us. It's not for show. We've been doing it. We've reached out to people all around this world, even the national president of the NAACP, all his contacts. We even had Mitt Romney on one of our Zoom calls, and you know he a Republican. These Republicans are tired, baby. It's nothing new. We've been doing it.
Okay, so they just
need you to get involved. I'm gonna need you to
I'm
get
trying
involved.
to get involved.
Excuse me. The next time y'all have Mitt Romney on y'all those, please call me. Cause I got a couple of questions for that man.
If you're not a member of the NAACP, you can't get on. That's why you have to get involved. You have to get involved, or you will be out the loop. Like the Mario Jives is out the loop right now.
I'm not out the loop, Shelisa.
I love you, Demario.
I'll look into getting into the NAACP, but it's a couple of Republicans that I need to talk to. And Mitt Romney would be one of them.
Well, getting into the NAACP, baby, is a great thing for you and your generation to come. So, I mean, hey, you're not going to lose with it. It's only $35 a year. You're not going to lose at all. You'll be exposed to a lot of stuff.
I know, like it's a couple of Republicans I need to talk to, like Lisa Murkowski. I need you to come to the front of the congregation, and Susan Collins. I need you to come to the front of the congregation, and it's a whole lot. Mitt Romney. I need you to come to the front of the congregation too, like Senator Ted Cruz. Like this man are talking about you like a dog, bro. You still support him? What's wrong with you, bro?
So have you called his office?
See, I'm not. I mean, if I call the office and the secretary answer the phone, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, man, I ain't called to talk to you. I called to talk to the person I called for." But
well, you still can get your point across just doing that.
Oh, okay. I'm in
but you have to put forth that effort.
How do you become a part of the Electoral College? Like, I mean, like, how do you do that? That's a good question for me, because as much as I got all these voting papers here and I sent all my stuff in, how do I get my stuff in about the Electoral College?
You trying to be an elector?
Yeah. How do you do that? How do I go vote?
Get in touch with your local Democratic Party. Let them know that you want to become a part, and they will help you with that.
Okay.
It's simple. But you have to want to do it. It has to be a hard thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it does. What I'm saying is, and I just really don't want people to get touchy about this. I'm just saying this because, yes, we're talking about voting, and if we're going to talk about voting, let's talk about all of the voting, because we're doing mail-in ballots, we're doing walk-in voting, and all of this stuff. But seemingly, this vote can be overruled by this vote. So I want to know just as much about this electoral vote as I do with this regular, because obviously just voting is just like handing a piece of paper and calling it a day. So I need to know all of it. So Teresa, you're telling me that I need to go down and talk to, who do I need to talk to? And I'm not.
I don't know who.
Very serious.
I don't know who your local chair of your Democratic Party is in your city. You have to find that out yourself. And you have to make yourself known to the fact that you want to be a part of the Democratic Party in your city. I mean, go and sit on a seat. Be a part of the grassroots so your vote can count. So you can make decisions concerning your state. But I'm going to say it again. You have to want to do that. It has to be in your heart to do it, because you're not going to get anything done if it's not in your heart to do it. And that's just across the board. I'm not talking towards you. I'm just saying it has to be a heart thing. It can't be something to just say, oh, I'm going to do this. No, you have to have a heart for that. And when you're dealing with Democrats and when you're dealing with people, you're going to have to help all people. The poor, the rich, the middle class. You're going to have to help them get the things that they need. So again, it's a heart thing.
So with that being said, Shelisa, for me, it is a personal thing because I do help people on so many levels, whether it is
absolutely.
And Sabrina kind of said something to this. I've been doing this platform for so long and helping all type of people. Now, with vlogging, there's only so much I could do. That's the reason why I am asking the questions, because I do want to get involved. And it is a very personal issue for me, because when I have to look at kids that are involved with sex trafficking, first ladies that are murdered, preachers that are doing all type of raggedy stuff out here, and yet still they can go to the pastors and get whatever, they can go to the presidents and get whatever they need. I need to know what I need to do, especially in my city here, because again, I'm from Memphis, but like you, I live here. What can I do here?
Right.
Who do I talk to? So that, to me, a vote, electoral college, all of this stuff matters. I need to know these things, because again, if I got young children that are out here being raped and molested by these preachers, I need to know what I need to do. So that's the reason why I'm asking you this, is because one, you are involved with the NAACP, you are involved with the I think the commission with the women in Karen in Tennessee. So your state in so many ways mirrors so many other states that have a duplicate of the same thing. So who do you talk to in your state, so I can make that initiative for me here in Florida? I can make that initiative to talk to somebody here to say, hey, how can we put this in place? Because so many people are being affected by this, and how can we make change? Because I appreciate what you're doing. And if you don't hear me say this again, I appreciate what you're doing with the single mothers and young children and all those things, and even in the educational system. I appreciate that, because somebody else needs to be doing that too. Somebody here in Florida is doing that. More people need to be doing those things. That's why I said, how do we make this happen? Because we're bumping our gums and we're talking, but again, on this platform, I want to educate the people. How can we go out and not only vote, but how can we get out and make a difference? Because like you and I, it is a heart thing, and it's very personal for us. And we feel some type of way when the people that we love in our community are being affected in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
how do we get out here and make a difference by not only with our regular votes, but with the electoral votes and with these preliminary votes? That's what I'm talking about.
Can I say something? Okay.
Go ahead.
I want to thank you. Thank you. Oh, Jesus, Lord have mercy. I want to say, as it relates to, I want to keep the theme that Shalisha was talking about, of the heart, and then I want to tie it into the electoral vote, and then I want to tie it back into voting. So, as it relates to the heart thing, I want to say I don't think anybody on this platform doesn't identify with it being a heart thing. And I was not going to share some personal things because this is not the platform for a resume. But then when somebody, keeps rehearsing it, it's important for people to know so that they know why we do what we do. My sister was murdered by the hands of domestic violence. I've given my life to the cause of helping women and children come out of destitute situations so that they could have a better life. I'm saying that to say all of us are tied by the heartstring, and that's what compels us to serve God and help humanity. We wouldn't be here speaking prayerfully if we were not tied to it by the heart. It's definitely a heart thing, and we all are woven together by that thread, as Dr. Martin Luther King would say. To your point, Demario, of the electoral vote, if a person wins 51% of the popular vote, that gives them 100% of the electoral vote. Now, most people in this place or that are watching us right now have no idea maybe of what the electoral vote is. What is important for us to do is to get out and vote. Like, go to the I can't reiterate that enough. Like, if you are concerned about what's going on in our community, if you are concerned about the disenfranchisement, if you are concerned about the marginalized, if you are concerned about the racial profiling, if you are concerned about trafficking and the issues that are taking place. I know Georgia has the #1 trafficking rate because of our international airport. The list goes on and on. If those things affect you, as it relates to domestic violence, African American women are leading in that plight. And we're not even the majority as it relates to numbers, but we're the majority as it relates to murders. So if those things concern you, please get to the polls and vote. Like, can y'all just, I don't, if you look at what the climate of America is today, if this does not convince you to go to the poll and vote, I really don't know what else we can say to do it. But we are all concerned, and that's why I hope that's why we're here having the conversation to encourage Black people to vote. And so I enjoy being here with you guys. Get to the poll, man. Like, get to the poll.
Wait a
At the end of
minute.
the day, get to the poll.
Let me say this to you, and I'm gonna make myself very, very, very clear. Since we want to get personal, okay? My mom did not raise me. Her twin raised me. She made sure I went to the best schools. She drove from one side of the city to the next. We were so close, we called each other sisters. At the age of 8, June 9th, 1989, my sister came from work to see me. She said, "Sister, I'm going to come back and get you. I'm going to go home and I'm going to come back." I said, "Sister, don't leave me. Just take me with you." She said, "I'm going to come back and get you." That was the last time I saw my sister. Her husband shot and killed her. So, baby, if you want to get real tonight, we can. We can. And like I said, at first, it's a hard thing with me. If you don't have a heart for it, don't even get in it. Stay your ass at home. And I'm done with it.
Okay, I just
No, we need y'all to go to the poll. Go to the poll. Don't stay home. Go to the poll. Go to the poll. Please go to the poll. Please go to the poll. We need you at the poll.
Right now. We're not talking about the polls right now.
Okay.
We know we want everybody to go to the polls. We're talking about community now. We're talking
I
about
never
this
knew.
personal situation that you brought up.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I never
when as
knew.
it relates to the community, that's what we're encouraging the community to get to the poll. You guys go to the poll, okay? It's personal when it comes to the Black dollar. It's personal when it comes to us coming out of the situation. Get to the poll.
So this
Get to the
this is
poll. Please get
this
to the poll.
I had to step away because I had to get some information. So if you're here in Tampa, Florida, if you're here in the Tampa Bay area, if you guys need any like pertinent information about voting, the Electoral College, the Spring of Tampa Bay, Roseanne Capoli, she's the Chief Program Officer, PO Box 5147 Tampa Bay 33675, and phone number. I can put all this stuff in the comments and stuff like that. And this is the stuff, this is the information that I was looking for, because again, we're talking about, you know, what the importance of voting. We're talking about the importance of, you know, getting this information out, helping other people. Shelisa is really talking about the heart matters and what's important, especially in her community. Sabrina, London's coming from a young perspective, all of this stuff like that. So the importance of all of this is, I agree with Shelisa, I agree with Sabrina. Everybody has been affected in some type of way, shape, form, or fashion, whether politically, religiously, domestically, some type of way. How do we get in the system
Economically,
and make change?
psychologically.
And economically, how do we get in the system and make change? Because at the end of the day, this and I get Shelisa. At the end of the day, as a vlogger, it does get personal for me because I see so many things and situations go on with people that I have to talk about it, or I have to touch on it, or I have to bring awareness to it. Because again, when I see men beating on women and then they get the slap on the wrist and they go on about their business, this is a problem. When I see when it was a situation, Shalisa, that happened in Memphis not too long ago, where the mother and the young man had beat the baby, and it just got really crazy, and the situation went away. I don't know what happened with it. I tried to do a follow-up, nothing. But those type of things are very personal for me, especially when it comes out of my hometown. And so it's like, what do we put in place to deal with situations like this? And to be honest, it not only happens in the Black community, it happens in the white community too. There's a movie on Netflix right now about the white man who killed his wife and put her in a barrel and buried her and the children in the backyard. How do we deal with these situations? How do we go to our government? Go ahead,
So
Shalisa.
let me tell you how we are dealing with it in Tennessee, Demario, okay? Because again, we're in the process. Let me just say this. We're in the process of getting another DA. That's where you start, okay?
Okay.
And that's the end of it. We have. If you don't know about politics, if you don't know about how government works, then it'll be hard for you to understand. Here in Tennessee, in Shelby County, I can only speak for Shelby County. We have been on the ground running before this election even started, even before our local election, to do what needs to be done for our Black people to have the right, for them to have the right people in place to support them. So it's nothing new.
Oh my God. Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
The reason why I ain't
Thank
commenting
you.
and saying
I
that, y'all,
just
because
want to
I'm
say
doing stuff. I'm
to the
doing stuff
people.
at work. But go ahead.
Sabrina.
And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get off to Mario. I'm going to get off. But I just want to say, as it relates to where we are, and I don't know about you, DeMario, and I don't know about you, London, but I can speak for myself. Don't be very clear. We don't get paid to do this. Even you, and if you're gonna put your skin in the game and community, baby, you better love it. Cause ain't nobody cashing us no checks to help Black people. Period. Ain't no show big enough, okay, for us to do what we do. Be very clear. You're gonna have to love this work. And if the truth be told, it's a calling. All right, that's what it is. It's a calling by God. Ain't nobody giving us no pass. Damn all them organizations, because some of them is sleep. If you gonna put your skin in the game and be in community, you better love Black people, because ain't nobody giving us no checks to do this. We saying this because we got skin in the game. We saying this because this is what I eat, drink, live, and breathe. I'm saying it because it touches my house every day. I'm saying it because my Black son got to drive to Tuskegee, and I don't want him pulled over. I'm saying it because I know what domestic violence feels like, not read it in a textbook. I'm saying it because I know what a calling is when you are called and you are chosen and you got to respond and you ain't got no choice. So be very clear. Ain't no checks given out for what we do when we're telling, saying, and serving, trying to help people become better in whatever manner you choose to do it. Everybody's not doing it the same way, and everybody ain't got to do it the same way. So I'm going to close with this. When Paul came, there were some ministers that came to Paul, and they was arguing about who is doing it the right way based on who loved what more. Oh, come on, Jesus. The ministers were arguing. Paul, don't let this one go. We don't love it the way we love it. And the other one said, Paul, don't let this one go because he don't really love it the way I love it. And Paul said, at the end of the day, let me tell you what really matters. As long as Jesus is preached, I'm going to sort it out later. I'm telling all of y'all that are watching under the sound of my voice, get yourself to the poll and vote. At the end of the day, I don't know your heart. I can't discern your heart. But I'm assuming if you ain't getting a check for sitting on DeMario's show, all of y'all, that you got to love Black people. I'm assuming that if you have studied as much as you studied and worked as much as you work, you got to love Black people. But at the end of the day, I don't care how you feel about it or not. I came here to encourage people to get to the poll and vote. Because when we leave this live, we're going to still be doing what we've been called to do. When we leave this live, we're going to still be serving. So I'm asking y'all, if you can, you know about the electoral or not, please take people to the poll. Please bring your ID to the poll. Please go to the poll and please vote. We cannot afford another 4 years of Donald Trump. I love you guys. I'm out. I got to go serve. Peace.
Peace out.
All right. Everybody, thank you all. Does anybody have anything, last remarks, comments that they want to say?
Let me say this, DeMario, because I don't put my emotions in anything, okay? And I most definitely don't care what other people are saying in those comments. And you're not gonna make me get on another train or on, make me get off of my sophistication mode because people saying stuff in the comments. I don't care about that. Again, when I do what I do it because I have a heart to do it. Nobody told me to go and be a part of anything. I chose to do that because that's what Shelisa wanted to do. Now, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to cuss and then use Paul in the same breath. I'm not going to do that. Again, what other people are saying, it doesn't matter to me. Again, I do what I do because I have a heart to do it. I'm very compassionate for doing it. I appreciate your platform. I think that you're doing an amazing job with your platform. And you can inbox me all the time or anytime if you need anything politically done or if you just have a question, because people are really out here doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, and we can argue, we can want to sound good, but are you sounding good and making stating facts? You know, again, you have to be involved to know what's really going on. We have to get involved. We have to, it's just like when you go to college. You're not going to know anything about business if you don't go learn about it. You have to learn about it first. And then once you get that knowledge, you can apply it. And it's that simple, Demario. So again, if you have any questions about anything that you want to know, now I don't know that much about the state of Florida, but I will suggest that you in London get in the loop of things in your state or your city, so you can already know when you come on your platform. You understand what I'm saying? Because we can sound good all day, but are we stating the facts? Are we stating the facts? And let's be very clear. When we're on platforms like this, other people's opinions don't matter.
Right.
Let's keep our minds clear. Let's walk in integrity and character at all times. So you guys be blessed, okay? I appreciate this platform tonight. I'm going to get off because I have to go see to my girls. But I appreciate you, Demario, for inviting me.
You're welcome.
I respect you, and I know that you respect me too. So thank you, guys.
All right, I love you guys, London. London. It's the two amigos.
Bitch, I need my weed, bro. Immediately. Okay, so just listen, everybody go out and vote. I ain't got nothing to say. I done said what I done had to say. I don't know really what to say. I'm just gonna sit here, and I was looking at my phone this whole time with work stuff. So y'all know me. I go out the gate, but I was told to be good tonight.
Mm-hmm. We will do a follow-up on Friday. No, we're gonna talk afterwards, okay?
I mean, we can talk right. I just y'all just vote, baby.
No. Y'all go vote. Praise the Lord.